All right, CoastLife team, I learned a shocking stat today, honestly, just a couple of minutes ago, and that is that strokes are one of the leading causes of death in Delaware. I know it's hard to believe, but the good news is we have people in our community working every single day to help you. I know if it's a little shocking, maybe you're a little scared for your family members, just listen in to this. We have a very special guest with us today. It is Thomas with Beebe Healthcare. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me, Paige.
Of course. So I'm really excited to talk about this. It's such an important topic. And Beebe has a stroke summit coming up in December. Tell us a little bit about this event and why it's so important.
Sure. So first and foremost, our stroke summit is scheduled for December 2nd, which is Saturday. It's going to be from 9 to 1 over at the Hyatt in Dewey. And we're putting on the stroke summit to bring awareness to folks here in Delaware in relation to how prevalent stroke is. It is the number 3 cause of death here in the state of Delaware. As far as the rest of the country, it's number 5. So we are really looking to bring together a whole constellation of specialty folks that understand stroke from the arena of education, risk factor mitigation, bringing to light new technologies and advancements related to how we can prevent and address and treat stroke ultimately.
That's incredible. And so if someone thinks maybe they have a stroke, right, what should they do, what steps, and how does Beebe intervene and help out patients?
Excellent question. So the number one thing that I want to really ensure folks are hearing and understanding and knowing is that time is brain. The first thing you want to do is be able to contact 911 and get your loved one, family member, whomever it may be that's presenting with signs and symptoms of stroke to get evaluated and checked out. So the beauty of calling 911 is that you have your EMS folks who will be part of the stroke summit as well to kind of articulate and present what that looks like in relation to the patient experience. The EMS folks can actually come address and do a quick triage as to what in fact may be occurring. They will be looking for signs and symptoms of stroke and then subsequently actually contact the emergency room to notify them if you're coming in presenting with a stroke, what are then the subsequent actions we need to take to address and intervene that. So that may look like getting an immediate CAT scan of your brain to ensure that there's no ischemic or hemorrhagic stroke occurring, and furthermore determining whether or not you're a candidate for life-saving therapies and medications.
Great. And what are maybe some common misconceptions when it comes to strokes? I've even learned recently, you know, people very young are getting strokes. You might think it's an older population, but what do you want people to know about them?
Excellent question, Paige. So a few things to note is that we're seeing younger populations of folks now presenting with comorbidities, other medical problems such as obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. These are all modifiable risk factors. In other words, these are risk factors that you yourself can control, our population can control. I can't control my age, can't control my race, but I can control these other elements of healthcare. So some of the common misconceptions include the fact that getting seen by your primary care doctor is a waste of time, and we want to really negate that notion. We want you to get set up and get evaluated once a year at the very least. Even if you're feeling fine, it's good to have that contact with your primary care provider.
I love that. That's a great point. And hopefully people can go to this summit. It's kind of a one-stop shop, if you will, and really hone in on the fact that start here, you know, don't wait for it to get to this point. I think that's really great. Will you also be talking at the summit about preventative steps, maybe just lifestyle choices, things like that?
Absolutely. That ties into this summit, regardless of what you may know already about strokes. We want to address healthy lifestyle changes, diet, exercise, those are key, of course. Making sure that your blood pressure is well controlled. And this year, what we've done is actually created 2 different separate tracks with our stroke summit. So we've got one for our community healthcare members, and we've also got additional tracks set up for healthcare clinicians that want to receive continuing education credit. So we've kind of got dueling tracks this year, whereas last year when we did this, we solely targeted the community members themselves. So this year we're trying to broaden out to a wide array of folks in order to really capture and make sure that we are addressing all members of Delaware.
Amazing. Well, I'm always impressed with Beebe and how you guys see a problem and you think, how can we fix it and how can we get the community involved? So this summit really could save lives. And so if you're concerned at all, I think, or maybe you're worried about a family member, it just can't hurt to attend. So if you could just remind everybody the time, the day, and where it is so they can make sure they write it down.
Certainly. So again, our 2nd annual Stroke Summit is going to be on December 2nd, which is a Saturday coming up, and it's going to be from 9 to 1.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here and for educating us. Again, you're just saving lives by being here and letting people know about this event.
Well, thank you for having me, Paige.
Of course. All right. Don't forget to go December 2nd. Right now, though, you don't have to go anywhere because CoastLife will be right back.